Working as the in-house agent, as that commercial specialist, can also help because as those conversations come in from other residential agents, for example, they'll funnel that business to you, essentially referring the commercial business into you as that agent. They still receive a referral fee, so they can do that, and they can continue the hustle that they have in their residential business so that they can kind of hand the customer off and just check in occasionally for an update. Property management, also a big one, not only for the individual investors, but for the different agencies that are out there. Commercial property managers oversee the day-to-day operations of a commercial property. So their responsibility is maintaining the property itself, make sure it stays up to codes, they're not getting in trouble with the city, handing out tenant relationships and making sure that the right tenants are in the right places and the facility is staying to its maximum rented capacity, and ensuring compliance with local regulations, right? The effective property manager is going to ensure that the property remains in tip-top condition so that it consistently attracts tenants. That way they can maintain their value. It is important that as a commercial property manager, that you also know the value of your property. Is it staying up to code? Is it staying up to date? Is it modernized? Does it have the appropriate and in good condition quality of parking and available parking for what is being done there? And if you put the wrong business inside of your facility, if you rent it out to something that is incredibly controversial, you may put the relationships with your other tenants at risk as well. So you have to make sure that when you're renting out tenant spaces, that you're doing it in a way that is supplementing the business opportunities that you've already captured into your facility. Investors, agents that directly work with commercial investors, those are the folks that are looking to actually buy and or sell commercial properties as just part of an investment portfolio. They analyze the market trends typically in advance on their own. They're going to assess the property's values with you, and they're going to identify opportunities for profitable investment. This role requires very strong analytical and technological skills and a keen understanding of the financial market. If that's not your thing, if you have said at more than one party that I am not a numbers person, this is not the niche for you. You'll want to keep moving on. Leasing. Leasing agent. Good money to be made here. As I mentioned earlier, a lot of businesses want to try before they buy. So they want to lease in the area while they're building up and consuming a business model that produces enough income so they can go out and buy their own property and essentially move to a bigger and better structure. Nothing looks better for a company than to, here's where we started, look at us now. That model is incredibly successful and follows that American business trend of how do I show my success. A leasing agent will specialize in helping landlords find tenants for their available commercial properties. So you may help a landlord by representing his entire short farm or his entire office space or his entire small commercial market, strip mall, if you will, so that you can make sure that you've got a relationship with the tenants. You know when those tenants are leaving. You know when those increases need to happen on their next lease. And you know when new vacancies are going to come in so that you can go ahead and have it rented before it becomes available ultimately. This type of role is critical for a business owner or a property owner to be able to keep that high level of occupancy that's going to make it easier for them to get loans, protect their business structure, protect their business model, and be able to sell it as a marketable piece of real estate when it's time. And yes, if you are the go-to person for all the leasing, what do you think is going to happen when it's time to sell the entire complex? They should be coming to you first. Developer. No, I don't want any part of this one, but I'm going to tell you about it. Developer agents have the real estate opportunity to be involved in creating brand new commercial properties with a developer partnership. They work on projects from the ground up. This includes acquisition, financing, construction, marketing. This career path combines a whole lot of elements: project management, finance, real estate expertise, and the understanding of whether or not you're building the right marketplace in the right market itself. This one's a tough one. The amount of time that you need for this niche is more than I have available. Consultant. This one's my all-time fave, and this is where I create all of my commercial real estate experience. As a real estate consultant, I get to advise clients. I get to make sure that they understand all of the aspects of commercial real estate. This includes the marketing analysis, the numbers behind property evaluations, the investment strategies that they should be using, including the investors and the partners that they need to bring on board, how they should be working with the developers, how they should be incorporating real estate into their different departments. And this is something that you can even do as a part-time agent, as a consultant. Keystone, we advise our clients to the best investment transaction from start to finish. And sometimes that means we have to have a hard conversation. We have to tell our clients, this is not the area for you. This is not the industry for you. This is not the part of town you want to open up that barbershop. Sometimes that's the tough role in the conversation. And for all of you that are on the live channel this morning, I do see all your questions piling in. I understand I won't be able to get to all of those today, but thank you so much for the live interaction. I'm loving it. It's keeping me energized, and I appreciate you very much. Each career path offers a very unique opportunity from what we were talking about from these. Obviously, consulting being my fave. Named our company after this business model so that we could be more than just the average everyday real estate agent. The interest that comes with the commercial real estate industry, whether you're drawn into just the transactional world of brokering or you're a big strategist and you enjoy being a component, a gear in the larger machine to developing your city and your local facilities, getting hands-on with property management and finding a niche that can help you advise customers in going the right direction because they want to build a commercial portfolio versus a residential landlord portfolio might just be the thing. So let's talk about the final Q in, which is the difference between residential and commercial real estate deal flow, right? Although both require the exact same licensing, especially in the state of Florida, the deal flow in residential and commercial differs significantly. Residential real estate, the process involves property research driven by a personal preference, straightforward offer negotiations, home inspections, standard mortgage financing, relatively simple closing processes, to be very honest. But in contrast, commercial real estate transaction begins with a very detailed market analysis. The property search that you have to do, followed by a letter of intent, which is the first shot across the bow that I want to do business, may negotiations begin. The extensive due diligence phase. This is not a house inspection. You have to inspect everything. And this means you need to even inspect the facility from the business that was there before that may cause some problems with the business or the reputation of that area that was derived from the former business or former tenant that might be driving business away from the whole area, and you may not be wanting to be there. The involvement of these various professionals, the brokers, the attorneys, the financial analysts, it's a lot more pronounced in commercial. The relationships are true business association. It's not just someone that you met and they're just the title company of the day that was chosen by the buyer. You need to be able to be pronounced in everything that you do. You need to be a consummate professional and understand that every bad conversation drives away business. Emphasize the larger scale and the higher stakes of what the commercial real estate agent has to go with. So, a couple of questions and then I'll close it all up for you. What challenges might I face as a commercial real estate agent? Okay. So challenges in the commercial agency is everything from navigation, is probably the best word for it, but how you can actually involve the intricate finance and legal considerations, understanding the market fluctuations, how they can impact the property value and demand. That's going to require an agent to be much more informed. The challenges of being knowledgeable and maintaining that level of knowledge is almost more serious and more time-consuming than the time you're going to spend with the client itself. Staying updated with the regulatory changes and the things that happen in the local government, you need to be a robust professional, and you've got to be able to build a network essential for success, and it's going to cost you time. And let's be honest, kids, let's bring it in for just a minute. If people don't like you on a personal level, they're not going to like you on a business level. And they're going to crater your career aspirations because you're not a likable person. If that has ever been the case for you, whether you're talking about going to McDonald's and being a jerk, or whether you're talking about being able to sit at a Thanksgiving dinner with your family during controversial conversations and not be the guy that everybody wants to leave, is going to help you make the decision of whether or not you should be in the commercial market. Hope that was helpful. How do you gain the experience in commercial real estate? I think I went through that enough. You may have joined late, but working underneath an experienced partner and actually getting yourself into kind of a mentor-mentee relationship with someone that knows what they're doing is critical for not only you to be good at this, but for them to drive business with you. So it looks like they're working with a team, and it helps them get more of a transactional back and forth so that you can get the entry-level understanding of how to get past all of those hurdles before you try to deep dive into the business. And I've got time for one more. I like this one. How do commercial real estate agents get paid? Commissions. Commissions are always a negotiated percentage of the property's sale price or the lease value. Standard commissions are ranged, and all I can say is what the averages have been. And it's anywhere from 1 till 10%, depending on the type of real estate you're getting into and the value of the real estate transaction. You're not going to get 5% of a $35 million hotel transaction. Simply isn't going to happen. I want to know you if you're able to make that work, though, because I'm interested in learning it. The commission is usually split between both sides. There's typically always a buyer's and a seller's agent. No one comes to the table in commercial without representation on both sides. Even the investors understand the value that we fight against in residential every single day. So it is still a very commission-based transactional relationship that gets you paid. You add value from the time that you are introduced to an opportunity. Heads up, no brokerage is 100% when it comes to commercial transactions. Commercial transactions put a real estate brokerage under an insane amount of scrutiny and liability, and they have to maintain a level of reputation far above what you're even doing as an agent. So they get their piece of the pie too. And the good news is they will typically, by reputation, drive business to you as well. So whether you're going to switch from being a real estate agent for residential, or if you just want to dive in a little bit and get your feet wet, commercial real estate market is incredibly challenging and rewarding. Be ready for the fight. With the right education, with the right skill set, a network and classes like this, and an acceptable brokerage that understands what you want to do, and they help keep you motivated and help keep you on the path, set some guardrails, and keep you protecting yourself and the way you do business, you can and will build a very successful career in this industry. Keep that deep understanding of how you're going to get into it, and understand that by holding your real estate license, there are lots of opportunities and industries that you can dive into to benefit from your expertise, everything from property management to real estate investment.